Greetings, friends and future friends. In this video today, I want to show you a playlist I created called Keyboard Info and Tutorials. Now, this is the second time I've done a video like this, but in the last few months, we've added a lot of videos to that playlist, and I wanted to keep you up to date on those changes. So if you have any questions about keyboards, especially the Pa5x, go to this playlist and hopefully your question will be answered. So let's take a look at that playlist. All right, we're here at the John Micheals YouTube channel homepage. And to get here, I'll drop a link below so you can get here. But if you're watching one of my videos, remember you can come over here to this icon here, click on that, and it'll bring you right to my YouTube channel homepage. And then you have a selection of all my videos and all my playlists. Now, I dropped a link below that will take you directly to the playlist. But if you came to my homepage of my YouTube channel and you're looking at this page right now, you'll see all my videos on top. And then right here will be Keyboard Info and Tutorials, that playlist. And you click on that. So once you clicked on that icon, it brings you to this page right here, which is Keyboard Info and Tutorials. And this is a whole playlist of all kinds of keyboard stuff. And if you can see up here, you can see our last video is the Korg Pa5x FX video. Now what I've done is I've taken and put these videos in a chronological order as they were being made. So that way you can go through it. So in other words, if you wanted to watch the Pa5x FX video, you could click on this playlist and watch the first one, and then it'll go down and you'll watch the second one. Now, I did this with all the videos in here, even I think way down in here, all the sequencers and you know, even here, Chaos. I did Chaos, and then here, right here, you'll see Chaos 2, and so on. And then down here, I think somewhere there's Matrix Part 1, Part 2. So it should, if you go to this playlist and you're a Korg Pa5x person, because I have a lot of Pa5x stuff on here, you should be able to click on the first video and watch them right straight through, and all the videos are in order. Here you go, new chord sequencer, the chord sequencer 2, this is part 2, and so on. And I think even down here, someone asked the other day about drums. And I think down here, where is it? It's way down here somewhere. Here it is. So right here you have drums part 1, drums part 2, and drums part 3. So they're all in order. So in other words, you watch the first one, it'll take you right to the second one and third one. So I kind of made this playlist a playlist that'll help you out, and you can go through these sections. So in other words, when there was more than one video on a topic, you'll be able to follow it through. Okay, I want to go down through this list real quick of these videos. That way you have something you can look at, and maybe when I go down through this list, it might trigger something and say, hey, you know, I was wondering about that. Maybe I need to watch that video. So the first video was Korg Pa5x FX video. There's 1 and there's 2. And basically what that's talking about is inserting an effect, whether it's an IFX or an MFX. You can put effects on the key sets or the pads or anything else. This is how you do it. Then down here, the third video is Korg Pa5x Genos to Pa5x styles. That was a video I did showing you how you can take a style from the Genos platform and alter it and make it into a style that the Pa5x will recognize. Then there's the Korg Pa5x joystick video. It's a real quick video telling you how you can change the settings on the joystick and make it work with different things. Then this one I liked a lot. This was the Korg Pa5x virtual guitar video showing you how you can use the virtual guitar to create pads, and it's really cool. You can create chord structures or arpeggios, really cool, and they're all in a guitar sounding thing. Then we go down here and we hit PA5X sample to pads or matrix video. Here's 1, 2. These 2 videos are talking about how to create a sample and bring in a sample, create a sample, and bring it into a pads or a matrix, because you know the matrix works off pads. There's 2 videos on that. Then I have PA5X sample to key set video, PA5X sample to key set 2, and PA5X sample to 3. There's 3 videos in here that'll show you how to take a sample, convert a multi-sample, and then create a key set with it. Pretty cool stuff there. That way you can create a sound. Then there's the PA5X event edit video. Really a helpful video here. It'll show you how you can actually edit stuff in the event edit page, which can help you out too. Then I did this video here too. I have a PA1000. It's really cool. I love that little keyboard. I use it in the video studio all the time. One really cool thing about the PA5X is it plays MP3s really cool. And if you can take your MP3s I create here in the PA5X, I can actually take them to the video studio and use the PA5X to play them and actually add little keyboards if I want. That's a really cool keyboard. Then the Korg Pa5x MIDI to versus styles video. I was showing you how you can take styles and how MIDI and the styles work together. The Pa5x new chord sequencer. This was with version 1.3, and the sequencer is really great. I love this new way you can edit. You can actually write a song in the chord sequencer, not even touch the keyboard. And I did 2 videos on that, and you're both in sequence, and that's a really cool thing. Then with 1.3 they added chaos, and these are 2 videos, chaos, the first video, and Pa5x chaos 2, and it shows you how you can use chaos. And that's really, you'll see now there's another button on the bottom, and actually you can see in this screen right here now there's an icon down below that says chaos, and that's really helpful, especially if you're doing dance music. Then the playlist video, that's just showing you how you create playlists. The foot controller, how to you set up your foot controllers. I have my foot controllers. I got all 3 of them set up. One's the damper for giving me a little more sustain on the keyboard. One actually starts and stops the style, player 1, and the other one inserts a break. So if I want to insert a break during recording. Then the Pa5x produce music, how to. It's basically another one on how I produce music with the Pa5x. You know, bring it into my DAW. And I did a little quick tips. There's a couple little quick tips on the Pa5x. And then here was an interesting one, drums, part 1, part 2, and part 3. Now, the first part, I will say, you know, you might go through it quickly, but it was showing you that in my studio, I actually have an electric set of drums, a 16-piece Roland drum set. And using those drums over the years, I've learned how triggering works and decay and all that stuff. And I wanted you to see that because in the first video, I'm showing you how an electric drum set works, which you can take those same principles, which is really great with the Korg Pa5x. You can bring those same principles into the Korg Pa5x when you go to the drum mixer, because the drum mixer will allow you to add decay, you know, lengthen the decay and all this stuff. Well, this is stuff we've been using for years in the electric drum sets. So there's part 1, part 2, and part 3. And then I got Matrix, part 1 and part 2. Those are older videos, but they're still great because the Matrix, you know, works great. And the keyboard scale transposer, I built this little app. If you're interested in it, there's a link in the video that actually can show you how the scales on the keyboard work. It's really cool if you want to know what an A minor looks like on the keys, and it'll show you the root notes and how to create a little app. And as a MIDI controller, actually for a while there I was using the Pa5x as a MIDI controller. How to do that, it was really cool. And the Korg Pa5x 16-track sequencer and how to use it. This is really a cool tool. Although this is a handy tool to have, the 16-track sequencer in the Pa5x, what I'm finding out now is that the sequencer works great, and if you want to use it that way, But for me, I actually do all my sequences in the computer and then I run them into the Korg Pa5x. But what I'm finding out with this new chord sequencer, I'd rather go in and edit the style and then come back and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to write a song, because if you edit the style, then you can bring it in as a style and then change all the chord sequences. So you can write that same part, you know, different ways by just using different chords. I really like that. The Korg Pa5x recording MP3s. That's another great video on how to create MP3s, because you can basically create an MP3 right out of the Pa5x. And this was a different, this is plays MP3s. This is how you can use two MP3s. Actually, you can record two MP3s and play them one on each player. And arrange your keyboard to DAW. This is showing you how I'm using it, because what I'm doing is I'm running out all 6 channels. I run the drums out 1 and 2. I run all my accompaniments out of left and right, and then I run my bass out of 3 and 4. So it's really, you know, I break everything up and I bring it right into my DAW for a quick, you know, if I want to create a song real quick. The Pa5x songbook set list, really cool. This is, you know, you can create a set list. Now for me, being I'm using it as a recording tool, I really don't have a set list created for playing out or anything. But if you are a person that uses the Korg Pa5x to play out, this is how you create a set list. Songwriting, let me tell you, with this new version, this video is a little older, but it takes you into some of the sequence writing. The new chord sequencer, the way you can write chord sequences is really awesome. That's one of the main reasons I bought the Pa5x. Then this video is my first video. This was the one that got this all started. 3 things I like about my Pa5x. And transpose arrangements, keeping it real, and then create, you know, when you transpose, there's ways you can take, and some things will some notes you have to change the range of it. Just to give you an example, when you're working with guitar players, you know, which that's what I was for a long time, the low E is the lowest note. So when you're playing a progression, say an E, A, and a B, the A and the B is higher. So what you got to do is change the positioning of how to, you know, make it sound like that guitar is the lowest note. And creating chord sequences, awesome. And Korg FX player 1 and player 2. And the bugs, yes or no. When the Korg Pa5x first came out, I had a video out on this, because everybody was saying, well, is this right or is this wrong? You know, there's still one thing I wish they would fix. In one of the screens, they have a JPEG in the back that has a streak through it, and it looks like at first there was a streak in the screen. When I fired it up, I go, oh my goodness, my screen's broke. But what it was the JPEG that they use in that for a background has a streak in it. All right, here we have Reverend John Micheals keyboard setup and GM Labs. Now I have 4 keyboards in my studio. I have a Yamaha M06, an Alesis rack, and then the Korg Pa5x, and then some other things. Now what I've done is she'll show you how I set up my keyboards MIDI, which I'm actually using my Nautilus to control everything. But there's a device here called the GM Labs ST4, which is a great little MIDI selector, which is awesome. I use it all the time. And what it does is, if I want to create an arpeggio on one of the keyboards, I can activate that keyboard, play a little riff, it'll get that arpeggio going, then turn a switch off, which then means no signal gets sent to that keyboard, and that arpeggio keep playing, and then I can play anything else I want on the other keyboards. It's a great little tool to have. And then I have it on this list because a lot of people that are watching the Korg Pa5x are from all over the world. But this is another thing, and I hope this video catches on, because this last video, YouTube language translate, YouTube now will allow you to create subtitles, and they'll allow you to translate that to different languages, which is really great. So now if you want to watch my videos in your language, you can do it. If you want to watch other people's videos in a different language, you can actually create the language you want to see in the subtitles. Really great stuff. So I hope this playlist helped you to see how many videos we've done on keyboards. And I hope you find those videos on keyboards helpful. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. You help us grow the channel. That way we can bring you more cool stuff. So take care, my friends, and thanks for watching.